Mighty Leaf Acrylic Nail Art Tutorial by Hotpinkzebrapolish. Hi guys, in this video I'm going to be showing you how I made these Mighty Leaf nails. One of them is encased tea, and that is chamomile citrus. That's the flavor of tea. And the other one is Mighty Leaf's logo. I love Mighty Leaf tea. It is the best brand of tea, in my opinion. So I hope you like this design and click subscribe so you can see all my future videos as well. So I picked out some Mighty Leaf loose leaf tea, and it's their chamomile citrus, which is a gorgeous combination of all these plants and flowers, and it's beautiful. So then to attach these to the nail in the beginning, I just painted some gel sealer and then laid them out. And with using the gel sealer, they didn't stick super well in the beginning, I didn't want them to either. This is just sort of a temporary hold, but it's also nice that you get to move them around if you like to. So if you put one someplace and like, nope, that's not it, you can take it off and put it on again. So I cured that in my lamp for 2 minutes. I have a UV lamp, and then I took it out, and now I'm encasing it with some clear acrylic. Now all of these pieces of tea, especially some of the larger flowers, are way too tall, or they have too much depth to be in the nail because I don't want this to get super thick. So I'm not encasing it smooth because that would be far too much filing later on. I am just encasing it enough to make all of this tea really nicely attached to the nail and stiffen up any parts so that I can file them thinner and so that it'll be easier to deal with later on. So this is not the final layer of acrylic, so it looks pretty lumpy right now, and it's gonna be lumpy. So once that is set, I'm going to thin it out a lot with my file, and I'm using a 150 grit file. To do this, normally I use a 180. I think that's a better grit for me, but I really wanted this to go quickly, so I did a 150 grit instead, and I'm filing it, and it took a lot of filing because there was a lot of tea to work through here. And so once you got that nice and smooth, remove all the dust, and then this is the layer of acrylic that you really want to make sure that it's nice and smooth and you have a really good nail structure so that it has that nice, perfect curve to it and all that good stuff. And then file it again, and so this time I'm going to be using the 180 grit and then buffing it with a 240 grit buffer, just to remove the scratches. And then I'm applying a layer of gel sealer, and when you do that, it's amazing. The tea just really shows up. It's so shiny, and the tea looks absolutely gorgeous in the nail. So now for their logo, I'm going to just create a soft gradient using a really pretty gold and some white. So I'm going to apply the gold at the cuticle and brush it down, the white at the tip and brush it up, and I'm just going to add another layer of gold and brush it down just to really enforce that gradient. And then I'm going to encase the nail with a thin layer of acrylic, and as I always say, this is the point where you want to build your nail structure, and this is going to protect the gradient and the little bit of glitter that's in the gold. And then file it, and I'm using a 180 grit file and then a 240 grit padded buffer. So yeah, what I always say, what I always do. And then once you have that really smooth, and you want it to actually be very smooth this time, it's a little bit more important because we're going to be painting on it. So then we're going to be painting Mighty Leaf's logo, and I'm going to start with the teapot, and I'm going to do that relatively close to the tip of my nail. And so I'm just going to paint a little teapot and then add a handle, just like so. And then to paint Mighty Leaf's genie, I'm going to start with just the thicker side of his tail, and then go up and paint the top of his head. And he's leaf shape, so you can see how that looks. So he's just like a giant leaf. And then I'm going to add the curve of steam coming down to where the tip of the teapot is. Add his arms. And then while that paint is just a little bit wet still, I'm going to be blending in a brighter shade of green just to give it a little bit of a gradient itself. And then with white paint and a very small brush, I'm going to be painting his face. So at a curve from the side, going down and then a straight line across for his nose, a smaller line underneath for his mouth, and then 2 dots for eyes. With black paint, I'm going to be writing the word Mighty Leaf across the nail, starting with the Y in the middle, and then the L, E, A, F. Now this nail, I think it's a size 6. Is the one that the nail tip I'm using, and that fits on my index, middle, or ring nails. If you were doing this on a pinky nail, it would probably be almost impossible to write Mighty Leaf going straight across. So I'm using a medium-sized nail tip. If you're doing this for your thumb, it'd be a lot easier because you'd have so much more space. So write small and write carefully, and if you need to start over, you'll probably have to start over with your genie as well, unfortunately. And then underneath leaf, write the word T. And apply a layer of gel sealer and cure it. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you like this design. Please share recreations with me on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. I would really love to see them. And I will see you in my next video. Bye!